All right, everybody, we are back again to doing Shinefinity. And you can see my mannequin. Here's our starting level, Shinefinity. I am using the brush and bowl application. And I am using 6-stroke 4-3, and I can't remember what the other one was, but 2 different bowls, of course, 2 different brushes to distinguish the lighter and the darker tone. My trusty gloves, my wow comb, my scale, and we're ready to go. All right, so maybe I'll be able to tell you that other color. So 7-stroke 59 and 6-stroke 43. Shinefinity is a deposit only color. Of course, I'll have that up on my Shinefinity review. You can get all the detailed specs, but this is, of course, my behind the scene look at how I apply my application. Never forget your gloves. All right. So we're starting with a 7-stroke 59. All right, they come in these tubes. You are going to weigh or measure your choice. Unscrew the cap, pierce the lining there, and you're off to a good start. So one thing I will say about this is really good fragrance to it. Doesn't have that strong ammonia smell, and there's a little bit of shimmer to it. You don't see it too much in this yellow bowl, but I will show you in the black bowl. I'll definitely point that out to you. Shinefinity, of course, comes with 2 different types of developers. There is one for a bottle application and one for a bowl and brush application, which I delve further into in the actual review. All right, now let's look at this second bowl. You're definitely going to be able to see that shimmeringness that I'm talking about. What's in there? It's going, it's going, it's going. All right, there we go. All right, there's the close-up for you. So if you look on the black part, you can see how it's like shimmering a little bit. It looks like glitter or something that's in that bowl. So that's like the shine that you see inside of the hair. And I'm telling you, it really does give the hair a lot of shine, a lot of sheen. It looks great. You'll see towards the end how it refreshes this color. And especially if you are doing reds or you're a redhead and you just need to refresh that color, I think this is a great color for you, a great color system for you to use, because it does not lift the hair. It is acidic base, so it's like it has a good pH that's healthy for the hair. It's not going to strip the hair. As you can see, a lot of redheads end up with this kind of a brownish, reddish, brownish, rusty color as the red begins to fade. So my purpose in this is just to refresh that color, and I'm using 2 different tones because I want to create a lot of dimension and a lot of interest in this haircut and in this curly hair. Because it is naturally curly, it will pick up a whole lot of hues, a lot of different shades and tones. So I never like to go in with one flat color. I like to definitely mix it up. And this is how I do a color melt. So I use this paintbrush when I'm doing any type of demi or semi because it spreads the product a lot more. The hair is not wet, but damp. It's not dry. So it's going on damp hair, about towel dried, squeezed, the hair squeezed out so that it feels moist, but it's not very, drippy wet. It's definitely not what you want. So what I do is I put the darker tone on the top, and I put the lighter tone on the bottom. Now, I do some variations on how I do this. It's really, really organic, especially when I'm dealing with curly hair. I kind of move more organically. So what that means is that there's some areas where the root color may be dragged down a little bit further, and there's other areas where the lighter color may be dragged up a little bit higher. But it varies and it harmonizes because we are working within the same tonal family and within the same color family. We're just working on different levels. there's different levels within my tones and there's different levels within the hair. So this is going to look really, really, really dimensional and just really nice and rich. And that is my outcome for that. There's no extra special partings on this. Like I said, it's kind of like I'm going off of my feeling and my intuition at the time. A lot of my sectioning will probably be diagonal back sections. I am working in quads because I'm separating the back from the front, and I am conscious about how light I'm going in certain areas and how dark I'm going in certain areas, but really there is no rhyme or reason. I just kind of organically know, I guess that's the buzzword for today, right? Everything has to be organic. I just kind of know what I'm doing, and I just feel my way through the hair, and I just feel what feels right in that particular moment. And usually that's good. That's one of those things that can't really be taught, So it's I would say just go off your intuition, and if it isn't that strongly developed yet, then definitely take the time to listen to yourself and develop that, and you'll know what to do and when to do it. And sometimes you have to trust it and get your mannequin out and play with it until, it becomes second nature to you. So that when you are doing it on your regular clients or yourself, however you choose to do it, you'll know that you're doing the right thing. With me, I could do this now all day in my sleep, and I know that I'm fine. And I could do it with my clients because I know, I have developed that sense of self to know how to organically move through the hair, how to make the right decisions in the right moments, and how to give the perfect result. And if I do make mistakes, I know how to correct them. So coloring hair to me is not it's not a task anymore. It's not fearful. It really is just about play now, and it's just knowing yourself, and that comes with everything. And like I said, that's what this channel is all about. It is about hair, yes, but it's also about awareness and self-awareness and just knowing your gut and going with your gut and going with your instincts and developing those skills. So now I am to the front. And of course, I always paint the front a little bit lighter. It is around the face. It brightens up the face. It pulls more interest to the hair. But I don't leave it completely all light. There are some dark pieces within the layers that will help the brighter pieces pop. So, the whole goal is not to just make the face completely bright with no dimension. You still keep in mind that you want to have some dimension, because in order for something to be bright or for something to look very bright, it has to lay up against something that's very dark. So there has to be a foundation at all times. So just keep that in mind when you're coloring hair. Just think about, okay, if I have a light piece, then I need a dark piece, or I need a medium piece, or I need something to make the light really pop. And the dark adds dimension, which is depth, which is shadow, which makes things stand out and appear a lot lighter, a lot brighter, a lot more prominent. So as you're coloring, you got to keep these things in mind. And that's what distinguishes you from an artist as opposed to just a colorist or somebody just supplies color or somebody just follows a formula. It's that creative process that makes you a hair artist. And not only that process, but being able to know that process and being able to articulate it. Being able to explain what it is that you do and why it is that your color costs so much money, because a lot of people will ask you and they don't know. They don't know what goes through your mind when you're doing all of this. You could say, yeah, you're training and this type and all of that, and they don't know what that means. They don't know what the training is. They think that, they can go to school and learn the same thing, but really it's not. It's like there's other things that distinguishes your work from other people's work, and you know it, and it's instinctive. So make sure you give yourself the credit that you deserve, and make sure you're sharpening your skills and you're developing your talents so that when you do ask for a certain price, it doesn't sound outrageous to people because they understand what it is that you bring to the table. And so now we're just working on the other side of the head. This whole video is 16 minutes and 43 seconds. I usually put that in the front, but I forgot to do that this time. But this color goes on and processes for anywhere from 10 minutes to, I believe, 20 minutes. If I'm mistaken, then you can watch my actual review video where I actually break down the whole product knowledge and all that stuff about it. But the purpose of that is like if you're using it for toning purposes, then of course you'll leave it on for the shorter amount of time. So say you are a blonde and you're just trying to like neutralize certain tones or something like that. Of course you'll leave it on for the shortest amount of time. Otherwise you'll start toning the hair or coloring the hair. And if you're doing something like what I'm doing, which is like a color refresh, of course you would want it on for the maximum amount of time so that color really saturates and gets, stays there and lasts a lot longer. The total time for this, they say, is maybe about, as far as how long it lasts, is about, I think, 20 or so shampoos, depending on what you use, of course. Always use a color-safe shampoo, and that will let it last a lot longer. But really it's just dependent upon how often you shampoo your hair or how often you wash it out. But the shine is definitely real and it's definitely there. And it just sits on top of the hair. So it's not going to be anything that's really going to strip your hair. So if your hair is been processed a lot and everything like that, this is a good product that can go on top of there that just adds some, shine and strength to it. Because it is deposit only. So this is a good alternative for a lot of people who just whose hair just needs some love. Right, so I'm getting over there to the front, and as you can see, as always, I always practice, make sure that you are keeping nice tension on the hair in all directions so that you have a nice, neat application. As you can see, I'm doing this and none of this is touching the face. None of this is all over the place. There's not color all over my apron. There's no color on me at all. There's only color on my gloves because, of course, I am sectioning the hair. But always practice neat application. If you practice a neat application, you won't have to do a lot of cleanup. You won't have to spend minutes or hours or however long rubbing stains off of somebody's forehead or going through multiple black clothes because they do stain no matter what. And not only that, but you will look like you know what you're doing. That's what people pay for. People pay to see that because I'm telling you, it looks cool. When you're sitting there and you're coloring, you're doing a full color application and there is no color all over them, all over the chair, all over the floor. People feel at ease. And the way that you practice that is like this. You break out your mannequin and you practice doing certain applications until they just become second nature to you. So that's it. I'm doing my dance. And now I'm doing my wow comb. My wow comb, I just use that to distribute through the hair, just to melt everything together, because sometimes they may be a line of demarcation. Although in this particular point, I did blend it really well, and it's within the same tonal family. So even if there was a line, it wouldn't be that noticeable because we're all working with the same reddish tones. There's just different hues. So that will make more of a difference if it was like two completely different colors, but nevertheless, I like to just run everything through and just melt it all together with that Wow comb. It is the best. You can find it on Amazon. And what it does is when you're combing through that red part, that rolls so that it redistributes the product all over the hair. So when you're combing, like, there's nothing coming off. It's just rolling and putting it back on the hair and just blending everything together. Okay, you can already start to see that color coming through. Much, much brighter than that rusty red that we started with. Perfect. Whew. So I was sick as a dog as I was making this video, but I did it anyway because I wanted to put it out. And then I went to go do the voiceover, and my voice was completely gone. I was suffering from sinus issues. Of course, you wouldn't be able to tell, but that just goes to show you, you never know what's going on in people's lives. But there, I was sick as a dog. I don't know how I made it, but I did. And there's the finish, people. So as you can see, it's nice, fresh, shiny. Look at the dimension in there. Look at those variations on the tones. It's just perfect. Make sure you check out my review video. It should be up soon. And thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.